very good evening and welcome to the news tonight here on Sabha TV. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you the day's top stories, starting with the headlines. Rajya Sabha passes the Maternity Benefit Amendment Bill 2016. Bill increases maternity leave with pay from 12 to 26 weeks. Companies and institutions with over 50 employees will need to provide creches for children. Rajya Sabha is disrupted several times over protests by Samajwadi Party members. They demand assurance from the centre on releasing funds for Uttar Pradesh. Lok Sabha holds discussions on atrocities against Dalits under Rule 193. Members highlight an increase in incidents of atrocities against the community. 34 days of curfew and counting, no sense of normalcy yet in Kashmir. An all-party meeting called by the centre will take place tomorrow. And after 8 days of search operations, Navy divers finally locate the wreckage of 2 buses in Maharashtra's Savitri River, 200 meters from the site where the Mahad Bridge collapsed, killing 26 people. Our top story this evening, the second last day of the monsoon session saw the Rajya Sabha pass amendments to the Maternity Benefits Act of 1961. Discussing the bill in the upper house today, members also pitched for paternity leave. They also sought maternity leave for 9 months and bringing surrogate mothers within the ambit of the law. According to Labour Minister Bandaru Dattatreya, the Maternity Benefit Amendment Bill 2016 will increase participation of women in jobs and reduce child malnutrition.
The Rajya Sabha on Thursday passed the bill amending the 1961 Maternity Benefits Act. Replying to the discussion on the Maternity Benefit Amendment Bill 2016, Labour Minister Bandaru Dattatreya told the House that it increases maternity leave with pay from 12 weeks to 26 weeks and will apply to all places that employ 10 or more workers. According to the bill, companies and institutions employing over 50 personnel will be required to provide creches for children or pay penalty for violations.
For ministry, taking into the all aspects, we have decided 26 weeks. Only for the 2 children, as I mentioned. Maternity benefit, it is as a paid absence work. Other important this aspect is there is a maternity bonus. Maternity bonus that is up to 3,500. Any employer cannot remove on the ground of pregnancy. And also any employee also. They cannot, employer cannot remove, and employee also will not be permitted to work.
Earlier, Congress MP Rajni Patil initiated the discussion on the bill. Many MPs wanted the unorganized sector to be brought within the ambit of the bill. Along with maternity leave, members also suggested the need for paternity leave.
उन महिलाओं के लिए जो नौकरी पे नहीं है लेकिन काम करती है दिन रात, उनके लिए अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड सेक्टर के लिए भी मंत्री जी आपको कुछ प्रावधान करने की जरूरत है।
मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा माननीय मंत्री महोदय को कि उन्होंने जो एक समय सीमा थी केवल मात्र 12 सप्ताह यानी 3 महीना उसको बढ़ाकर 26 सप्ताह लगभग 6.5 माह से भी अधिक का समय निश्चित किया है। तो मैं सोचता हूं कि इससे बहुत बड़ा लाभ उन बहनों और माताओं को होने वाला है।
Our Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has already, she has given about 26 weeks are now in practice, and now Amma has promised to enhance this to 39 weeks, that is almost 9 months paid up salary. That maternity leave will be enhanced to 9 months. So that is the promise, and it will be done very shortly.
It is there in the amendment that every establishment shall intimate in writing and electronically to every woman at the time of her initial appointment about the benefits available under the Act. That means this maternity bill should be implemented from the very first day of the service of the pregnant mother. This maternity benefit bill must address the working woman of unorganized sector. I appreciate the thought that government has put behind the bill. We also need to work towards building a future.
हमारे जो शहर में रह रही बहनें हैं वो लैपटॉप, मोबाइल और नेट से जुड़ी हुई हैं, लेकिन गांव के जो सड़कों, खेतों की पगडंडियों से चलकर जो शहरों के मुख्यालय में आकर काम करती हैं, उनके साथ आप कौन सी किसी प्राइवेट जो संस्थान हैं उनसे आपने बात की है? इसको आप कैसे इनको बहनों को लाभ पहुंचाने का काम करेंगे?
I also demand an assurance from the Honorable Minister and the government also that under no circumstances the working women of any segment of our workplaces can be deprived from this benefit on any plea whatsoever, even if it is a law made by the Parliament.
इस बिल क्लोज में जो प्रावधान किया गया है, ये 50 से जो अधिक जो एम्प्लॉय होंगे वहाँ क्रेचेस जो उपलब्ध किया जाए। सर, मेरा सबमिशन है कि मेरे ये जो क्राइटेरिया रखा गया है सर, इसके कम करने से बहुत ही अच्छा होगा सर।
Say that anybody who has 50 employees will have to have a mandatory creche. What are the penalties? The penalties are as they were before, which is 1 year for the employer in jail if he doesn't agree, and if he, if he's complained about, and or a fine.
Can draw lessons from the experience of some states like Tamil Nadu, how to strengthen the schemes which can directly benefit the women, children, in terms of nutrition, in terms of their health care,
This is very discriminatory. Kehkesha ji has already said there are sometimes social pressures where the third child comes into being, or then there is maybe two. I know of a person who has two mentally handicapped children, challenged children, so she wanted to take a chance for the third. So in such a case, will she not be given that maternity leave extension?
We are asking about the commissioning mother who is engaging a surrogate mother and for bringing the child in the womb, and you are also making provision for for a person who adopts the woman who adopts a child. But what about the mother who is a surrogate mother? This I would like whether this covers, because from the bill it doesn't look so. And if
the government gave an assurance that the issue of maternity leave for surrogate mothers is being looked into. The Maternity Benefit Amendment Bill 2016 was cleared by the Cabinet on Wednesday. Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi said the government would try and get the bill passed in Lok Sabha as soon as possible. With Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Inputs, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, opposition parties including the Samajwadi Party, JDU and the Congress alleged discrimination by the centre in releasing funds for non-BJP ruled states. The issue was raised in Rajya Sabha on Thursday. The SP and JDU members stooped into the well of the House, forcing several adjournments in the pre-lunch session.
Ram Gopal Yadav of the Samajwadi Party gave a notice under Rule 267 seeking suspension of business to discuss the alleged discrimination against Uttar Pradesh. Ali Anwar Ansari of the JDU gave a similar notice to flag the non-release of funds for Bihar. Ram Gopal Yadav asserted that several letters have been written by the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister and Chief Secretary to the Union Government seeking the state's share of funds. He demanded assurances from the government that the funds will be released. Ali Anwar Ansari said 2,300 villages in 14 districts were submerged underwater and alleged that the centre was not implementing the crop insurance scheme.
जैसे सर्व शिक्षा अभियान में 3,585 करोड़ रुपया उन्होंने नहीं दिए, लगातार चिट्ठी मुख्यमंत्री ने लिखी। शेड्यूल कास्ट और बैकवर्ड क्लास के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, इनके ये 8 लाख लड़कों के स्कॉलरशिप रुके हुए हैं। 1425 करोड़ रुपया केंद्र सरकार ने नहीं भेजा है।
केंद्र सरकार जानबूझ करके प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना बिहार में लागू नहीं कर रही है। 50% हम लोग देते हैं इसमें, लेकिन इसका नाम प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा ये रखा गया। ये गंभीर मामला है महोदय।
Pramod Tiwari of the Congress also pulled up the government, complaining against alleged discrimination.
ये जनता का पैसा है, पब्लिक मनी है, ये बताए सरकार, रेल केंद्र सरकार की, रिजर्व बैंक, वित्त मंत्रालय का, ये बताएं कि जनता का 340 करोड़ रुपए
बगैर सुरक्षा के क्यों ले जाया जा रहा था?
As the Samajwadi Party and the JDU members marched into the well, 0 hour was paralysed. The chair first adjourned the House for 15 minutes and then till noon.
House is adjourned for 15 minutes. House is adjourned for 15 minutes.
Even question hour proceedings could not take place as the Samajwadi Party members continued their protests against the government. Repeated requests by the chairman to allow the House to function went unheeded. As members raised their pitch, the House was first adjourned for 30 minutes and then till 2 p.m. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Lok Sabha today discussed the issue of atrocities against Dalits in the country. During the discussion, the opposition members condemned the incidents of atrocities on Dalits and demanded that the government must protect the rights of the community. The opposition also accused the government of failing to prevent such incidents.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh assured the Lok Sabha on Thursday that strict action would be taken against those responsible for recent attacks on Dalits.
यह मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि संविधान के लागू होने के बाद भी पाया गया कि बहुत सारे प्रावधान इफेक्टिव रूप से इन्फोर्स करने के लिए कुछ कानून भी बनाने होंगे और मैं यह मानता हूं कानून बने भी हैं। हमारी सरकार भी दलितों के उत्पीड़न को रोकने के लिए, दलितों के सोशियो इकोनॉमिक एम्पावरमेंट के लिए कानून बना रही है, नए कार्यक्रम ला रही है, यह सब सारी व्यवस्थाएं कर रही है।
Earlier, the lower house of parliament discussed the issue of atrocities against Dalits under Rule 193. CPIM member P.K. Biju spoke about the overall poor condition of Dalits. He also accused the government of not giving equal rights to Dalits, despite the constitution mandating it. Congress MP K.H. Munyappa raised the issue of increase in incidents of atrocities against Dalits.
The government is protect us, but otherwise they have a feeling of the Indian democracy, Indian constitution not give proper safeguard to live as a citizen of this country, sir.
The atrocities on Dalits, you are believing Lord Krishna? Lord Krishna is seeing everything now. What the BJP is doing, what RSS is doing, what the government is doing, he is watching everything. The days is not far away.
Meanwhile, BJD and BJP blamed the judicial system for not taking up these cases promptly and said this had encouraged people to commit these unlawful acts. TMC's Saugata Roy criticized the Prime Minister Modi for his delayed statement on the issue.
Can we force our political party to take up social reform as a political agenda? Then only we can meet this challenge of casteism and its tentacles.
देश में इस तरह का कोई बहुत बड़ा सामाजिक आंदोलन नहीं चला जिसके वजह से तमाम इस तरह की जो पुरातन सोच है, यह दकियानूसी सोच है, जातिवादी सोच है, जिसको समाप्त किया जा सका।
11 जुलाई ऊना में घटना घटा और उनको बयान देने में 26 दिन लग गया। और मैं ये भी पूछने चाहता हूं, अगर बयान दिया ठीक है, लेकिन बयान में ये क्यों नहीं बोला कि मुझे मारो लेकिन दलित और मुस्लिम को मत मारो? दोनों ही तो हो जाता है। He left out the word Muslim.
The debate was taken up in the wake of the flogging of 4 Dalit men who were skinning a dead cow by alleged cow protectors in Gujarat. With Ravindra Singh and Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In other news, curfew and shutdown continued in Kashmir Valley for the 34th day in a row. Restrictions remain in force in Pulwama, Kulgam, Shopian and Anantnag, including 8 police station areas of Srinagar city. However, some private transport and pedestrian movement were seen at many places in Srinagar and other major towns of the valley. Despite marginal improvement in the law and order situation, though, schools, colleges, business establishments, petrol pumps and private offices remain closed while public transport remain off the roads. Separatists continue to remain under preventive detention, although they've been issued weekly protests. They have been issuing weekly protest calendars asking people not to resume normal activities.
वो अपने बच्चों को छोड़ते हैं सड़क में जाकर पत्थर फेंकने का और उसके बदले में पेलेट गन से आंख की दिखाई खोने का। अब देखिए कितनी नाराजगी होगी वहां। अब इस नाराजगी को कम करना होगा, वातावरण बनाना होगा, बातचीत का वायदा करना होगा, फिर बातचीत करना होगा।
हमें लगता है कि जिस तरह से कश्मीर को लेके देश के सभी दल एकजुट हैं, सभी का मानना है कि भारत का अटूट हिस्सा कश्मीर है और सभी लोग चाहते हैं कि वहाँ पे हालात सुधरें और उसके लिए सरकार को पूरा सहयोग देने की तैयारी लोगों ने दर्शाई है और सरकार की जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि किस तरह से चीजों को आगे बढ़ाए।
And now let's take you through what else made news across the country today in Nationwide. Navy divers found the wreckage of 2 buses that fell into Maharashtra's Savitri River almost 200 meters from the Mahad Bridge collapse site. So far, 26 bodies have been recovered. Search operations are continuing for the 14 people who are still missing. 2 state transport buses and some other vehicles were swept away after the British-era bridge collapsed on the Mumbai-Goa highway last week. The interim protection from arrest to expelled AIADMK MP Shashikala Pushpa and 2 of her family members till the 22nd of August. They face charges of harassment by their domestic help. Earlier, the Tamil Nadu government was restrained by the High Court from taking any coercive action. Pushpa was expelled by party chief Jayalalitha last week for allegedly bringing disrepute to the party. Supreme Court today rejected a bail plea moved by Asaram Bapu seeking interim bail on health grounds in a rape case. A teenage girl accused the godman of sexual assault at his ashram near Jodhpur. Following her complaint, Asaram Bapu was arrested in 2013 and has been in jail since then. His bail petition was earlier rejected by the Rajasthan High Court. Former BSP leader Swami Prasad Maurya was today booked for violating prohibitory orders during his visit to Lucknow. During his visit to the party office, Maurya was accompanied by many supporters in a motorcade of cars, creating traffic jam. The supporters also burst crackers outside the BJP office to welcome him in the party fold. Maurya had recently joined the BJP. Time for a quick break here. We'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
Approximately maybe 40% of the under 5 children are undernourished. The type of food that you take, and second thing is your physical activity also. That is something which has become a casualty in this modern day life. It is a question of moderation that needs to be adopted by the people to have a healthy lifestyle.
Watch Eureka with Dr. P. Uday Kumar, Senior Deputy Director, National Institute of Nutrition, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Let's now get you all the action from the Rio Olympics, where India survived disqualification in boxing for not wearing vests bearing the country's name. The boxers have got their kits replaced as mandated by the International Boxing Association and can now compete without any fuss. However, disappointment continued for India on day 6 as well. Let's start with women's archery, where India's challenge ended after both Deepika Kumari and Bombela Devi Laishram lost their respective pre-quarterfinal matches. Deepika lost to world number 2 Tanya Ting of Chinese Taipei 0-6, while Bombela lost to Alejandra Valencia of Mexico 2-6. In hockey, the Indian men's team lost 1-2 to Netherlands in a thrilling encounter. The Dutch side broke the deadlock in the 32nd minute, but India equalized via Raghunath minutes later. However, the Dutch took the lead again with less than 6 minutes on the clock. India had an opportunity to level the match, but failed to convert the 5 penalty corner in the final seconds. Despite the loss, hopes for a quarterfinal berth are still alive. In boxing, Shiva Thapa crashed out of the Olympics after losing to Cuba's Robesi Ramirez 0-3 in the men's bantamweight category. Thapa was on the back foot from the very beginning of the contest and was well beaten on points, losing all the 3 rounds. However, in badminton, PV Sindhu gave Indian fans some hope by winning her group match against Hungarian Laura Sarosi. Sindhu won 21-8, 21-9. However, the doubles pair of Jwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponappa and the men's doubles pair of Manu Atri and B. Sumit Reddy lost their respective first group stage matches. Later tonight, Saina Nehwal and Kidambi Srikanth will be in action in their group matches. Also in action will be the mixed doubles pair of Sania Mirza and Rohan Bopanna in tennis, of course, who will play the first round match today. Well, on day 5 of the Games, US swimmer Katie Ledecky claimed her third gold medal at Rio, while Brazil's men's football team found their form to advance to the quarterfinal. Here are more details.
Swimmer Kate Ledecky won her third gold at the Rio Olympics, guiding the US women to victory in the 4x200 meters freestyle relay. The 19-year-old, who now has 4 Olympic gold medals, overtook Australian Tamsin Cook in the last leg to anchor United States to victory. The 200 meters and 400 meters freestyle champion will now look to complete a rare individual treble when she competes in the 800 meters freestyle event on Friday. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan's Dmitry Balandin snatched a shock victory in the men's 200 meters breaststroke. Balandin, the slowest qualifier of the 8 finalists, finished just 0.07 seconds ahead of America's Josh Pranor to take the gold. Kazakhstan also took gold in the men's 77 kg weightlifting event as Nijat Rahimov made a new world record in clean and jerk with a lift of 214 kg. In gymnastics, Kohei Uchimura of Japan took gold to become the first gymnast in 44 years to win back-to-back Olympic all-around titles. Uchimura beat Ukraine's Oleg Verniev by just 0.099 of a point for the top prize. Britain's Max Whitlock finished third.
団体が終わってからもうこう気持ちを持っていくのがすごく難しくて、もう本当に最後の最後まで集中力を持続したまま。
In football, host Brazil finally found their form as they advanced to the quarterfinals with a 4-0 win over Denmark. Germany also advanced with a 10-0 hammering of Fiji. However, defending champion Argentina crashed out of the tournament. British duo Jack Loffer and Chris Mears stunned China to claim Britain's first ever Olympic diving title with a gold in the men's synchronized 3-meter springboard. The pair scored a total of 454.32 to end China's hopes of a clean sweep of diving golds at the Games. In the overall medal tally after day 5, the United States tops the list with 32 medals that include 11 gold, 11 silver and 10 bronze. China takes the second spot with 23 medals that include 10 gold, 5 silver and 8 bronze, while Japan jumped to the third spot with 6 gold medals. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to news now from neighbouring Pakistan, and at least 14 people were injured when a roadside bomb exploded near a hospital in Quetta on Thursday. The incident comes just days after a deadly bomb attack killed 74 people and injured more than 100 in the rest of Balochistan province. Thursday's attack targeted the convoy of a judge who escaped unhurt. But 10 civilians and 4 security officials were injured, with 2 reported to be in a critical condition. In more international news, Russia and Ukraine are once again locked in a bitter feud over Crimea. Russia has accused Ukraine of trying to carry out armed incursions into Crimea, a charge fiercely denied by Kiev.
The conflict between Russia and Ukraine over Crimea has sprung up once again. Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused Ukraine of waging terror over alleged attempted incursions into Crimea, the territory annexed by Russia in 2014 after a referendum. The accusation came after Russia's FSB intelligence agency announced 2 attempted incursions into Crimea over the weekend, in which 1 Russian soldier and an FSB employee were killed.
Для всех уже очевидно, что сегодняшние киевские власти не ищут способа решения проблем путем переговоров, а переходят к террору. Вот это очень тревожная вещь.
Putin described the situation as an alarming one and warned Kyiv of consequences. He also chaired a Security Council session to discuss additional measures to ensure security at Crimea's de facto border.
Спровоцировать всплеск насилия, спровоцировать конфликт – это не что иное, как желание увести внимание общественности страны.
Ukraine, however, denied the accusations, calling them preposterous.
Today, President Putin has made a statement in which he accused Ukraine in making provocations along the border with Crimea, accusing Ukraine of turning to terror instead of seeking the peaceful solutions to the conflict, which sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Moscow and Kyiv have been locked in a bitter feud since Russia seized Crimea from Ukraine in March 2014. The fresh war of words has once again sowed tensions, even raising questions on the future of the Minsk process. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take you through some more international news updates in Global Buzz. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan issued an ultimatum to the United States demanding extradition of the exiled cleric Fethullah Gulen, which he believes is behind the failed July 15 coup attempt. However, Gulen has already denied of his involvement in the coup. Erdogan said that the United States had to make a choice between Turkey or the cleric. The coup attempt claimed 239 lives and injured nearly 2,200 others. Russia kept a proposal to United Nations on Wednesday that said that there will be daily 3-hour ceasefires in Syria's Aleppo to allow humanitarian convoys to enter the city safely. A senior Russian Defense Ministry official said that Russia, as an ally of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad against rebels in Syria's 5-year-old civil war, would work with Damascus to ensure safe delivery of the aid. Aleppo is split into rebel and government-controlled areas right now. Around 24 people and firefighters were injured yesterday in an explosion and fire at an apartment building in Maryland, north of Washington, D.C. in the U.S. The explosion rocked the Silver Spring and fire burned through the morning, on Thursday. Authorities were investigating the cause of the explosion. No one was reported to be killed. Libyan forces battling to oust the Islamic State from Sirte captured a large convention hall complex, hospital and university buildings in the city centre. It was previously a militants' base which was once used by the Islamic State for meetings and religious instructions after they took control of the city last year. This is said to be one of the biggest achievements by Libyan forces in weeks. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight from the entire team here. Good night.